Namaste. My name is Sarah Agelasto. I'm a certified Iyengar yoga teacher, clinical herbalist, and the co-founder of iHanuman Yoga Media. This class is part one in a series of an introduction to Iyengar yoga. Today, we'll be focusing on the base of the standing poses, which are the feet. So you'll hear me describe a little bit about the feet, including the inner and outer edges of the feet and the four corners of the feet, as well as the ball of the feet. So we'll start first in sukhasana, or easy pose. It's a comfortable seated pose where we'll start at the beginning of all of our classes in this series. So you'll sit comfortably on blankets so that your knees are in line with your hips or slightly lower. The shins are crossed in the center line and the feet are underneath the knees. You're seated directly on your sit bones. The sides of the body are lifted. The shoulders are back. The neck is long. And the muscles of the face and jaw are soft. You can gently close your eyes for a moment, just centering yourself in this space and time, taking a moment first to become aware of your physical body in this shape today. Notice how it feels to be sitting on your sit bones. Notice the weight of the legs down to the floor. There should be a sense of ease and lightness in the pose so that you're not gripping in the groins, in the legs, in any of the muscles of the body. But you're lifted up from the center of the chest and out through the crown of the head. And when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes and we'll come to a standing position. So for this class, you'll need 1 to 2 blankets, 1 to 2 blocks. If you have 2, great. If you only have 1, that's okay. And you'll need a strap. So I'll put these to the side for now. And we'll start with the blocks nearby. We'll start in Tadasana, or mountain pose. We'll start with the feet hip distance apart, and the outer edges of the feet will be parallel with the outer edges of the mat. So take a moment here and just access those points that I was talking about earlier. The inner and outer edges of the feet. Feel the inner and outer edges of the feet and their contact on the floor. And the 4 corners of the feet, which are the big toe mound, the little toe mound, the inner heel, and the outer heel. So you might rock back and forth just a little bit, forward and backward, noticing where your weight is on your feet. And take the weight just slightly back towards your heels, in between the inner and outer heel. As you lift and spread your toes and place the big toe mound and the little toe mound on the floor. And then see that you're balanced inside and outside, inner and outer edges of the feet. And from there, lift your kneecaps up, press the feet down and lift the kneecaps up. This will engage your quadriceps, and you can begin to take your quadriceps back towards the wall behind you. Lift your abdomen slightly up, toning the abdomen. You can lengthen the tops of your buttocks down towards the floor, lengthening the lower back. Lift the center of the chest, the sternum, the breastbone. Lift that up as you take your shoulders back and away from your ears, and then reach the arms down by the sides. Should feel steady and balanced in Tadasana, or mountain pose. Tadasana is the foundation, it's the base of all the standing poses. So from here, we'll raise our arms overhead in Urdhva Hastasana, or upward hands pose. So maintain the balance on your feet, the lift in the kneecaps, the lift in the chest. As you take your arms forward, reaching out through the fingertips, continuing to reach out through the fingertips. Keep the elbows straight. And inhale and take your arms overhead by your ears. Stretching the arms fully, stretching the fingertips fully. If you're unable to straighten your arms, you can take your arms just a little bit wider, and then you may be able to access the straightening of the arms. If there's any pain in the shoulders, you can also take the arms a little bit wider and stretch the arms overhead. Feel all the space created from the base of the feet out through the fingertips by raising your arms overhead. And then inhale again, and exhale, lower the arms down by the sides of the waist. And pause for a moment in Tadasana. From here, we'll begin our practice of the additional standing poses. And we'll start with a pose, which is a transition into the standing poses. It's called Utthita Hasta Padasana. So we'll inhale the fingertips up in front of the chest, and then we'll jump the arms and legs wide apart. So here, the legs are, depending on your size and height, they are 3.5 to 4 feet, maybe even a little bit wider apart. If I had a string hanging from my wrists, the string would create a plumb line down to my ankles. So wide apart. And here, too, we'll access the inner and outer edges of the feet and the four corners of the feet. So balance yourself again, inner and outer edges of the feet. Find the big toe mound, the little toe mound, the inner heel and outer heel. And press down into those points as you lift up out of them. So don't let the inner ankle sink, the outer ankle bulge, but try to maintain the balance on the inner and outer ankle. Same work in this pose by pressing the feet, lifting the kneecaps, pressing the tops of the thighs back, lengthening the tailbone down, and lifting the abdomen and the chest up. And then to return out of this position, we'll jump the legs, the arms and legs, back to Tadasana. So the feet, again, are about hip width apart, the arms stretched down by the sides of the waist. From this position, we'll transition into Parshva Hasta Padasana, or turned hands and feet pose. So we'll inhale the fingertips up, jump the legs wide apart into Utthita Hasta Padasana, or extended arms and legs pose, extended arms and feet pose. And we'll turn the right leg and foot out 90 degrees. So now it's parallel with the front and back edges of the mat. And we'll turn the back foot out just slightly. We'll maintain the four corners of the feet as we press the feet down, lift up on the kneecaps, lift up on the thighs, lift the chest and reach the arms. And we'll look at our feet and we'll see that the heel of the front foot is in line with the arch of the back foot. So this will be the positioning for all the lateral poses that we do today and in this course. And then we'll turn the right leg back to parallel with the left, and we'll turn the left leg out 90 degrees. So the inner and outer edges of the foot are parallel with the front and back of the mat. The back foot turns in slightly, and again, see that the heel of the front foot is in line with the arch of the back foot. Take a breath, reach the arms, lift the chest, and then turn the feet back to parallel, and we'll hop the arms and legs back to Tadasana, mountain pose. So there are some contraindications for jumping in and out of the poses. You will not jump in and out of the poses if you have knee pain, back pain, if you're a woman and you're menstruating, or if you're pregnant. In those instances, you'll step the arms and legs wide apart. So I'll demonstrate that now. Same, take the fingertips towards one another in front of the chest, and then arms and legs step wide apart into Utthita Hasta Padasana. And then to come out, you'll step the arms and legs back to Tadasana. So the next pose we'll practice is called Utthita trikonasana, or triangle pose, extended triangle pose. So Utthita means extended, and trikonasana is triangle pose. So we'll begin with Utthita Hasta Padasana. Inhale the fingertips up. Step or hop the arms and legs wide apart, and then turn the right leg and foot out 90 degrees. The back foot turns in slightly. Notice again the weight on the inner and outer edges of the feet. The big toe mound, little toe mound, inner heel and outer heel are all pressing evenly into the floor. From there, lift the kneecaps up, press the thigh bones back, maintain the openness in the pelvis, and we'll inhale and exhale, reaching out over the right leg. We'll place the right hand down onto a block. And for the first variation of the pose, we'll keep our left hand on our waist. We'll keep our focus on the feet primarily in this class. So press the feet, lift the kneecaps, and from the pelvis, reach out from the sternum out through the crown of the head. The chest faces forward, and the left arm, left shoulder rolls back to help rotate the torso towards the front of the room. Take a breath, press the feet, and inhale, come back up to Virabhadrasana Padasana. We'll turn the feet back parallel, Utthita Hasta Padasana, and then we'll turn the left leg and foot out 90 degrees. Back foot turns in slightly. Press the feet, lift the kneecaps, lift the chest, reach the arms. Inhale and exhale, reach out over your left leg and place your hand down underneath your shoulder onto a block. Take the right hand onto your waist and take a moment here again, pressing the feet. Lift the kneecaps, press the thigh bones towards the backs of the thighs. And then maintain that as you extend from the navel to the sternum out through the crown of the head. The right shoulder rolls back to take that top side of the arms and the top side of the body back towards the wall behind you. And press your feet again. And inhale, come back up to standing. And then turn the feet back to Utthita Hasta Padasana. And then step or hop, arms and legs back to Tadasana. Take a breath here in Tadasana, mountain pose. And again, see where the weight is on your feet. Are you balanced evenly on the inner and outer edges of the feet? Is your weight forward towards your toes? Or can you take your weight back again in line with your heels. We'll practice Utthita trikonasana one more time, and we'll include the extension of both arms from the shoulders. So inhale the fingertips up and step or hop, arms and legs wide apart. Utthita hasta padasana. We'll turn the right leg and foot out, 90 degrees, the back foot turns in slightly. Take a moment every so often to double check your feet. Is the heel of the front foot in line with the arch of the back foot? If not, then correct it. The pelvis is facing forward. The chest is lifted. The arms stretch directly from the shoulders. As you inhale and exhale, reach out over the right leg and place the right hand down onto your block underneath your shoulders. Your left hand reaches up also from the shoulder. So it should be basically a perpendicular line from the floor to the tops of your left fingers. This hand here is here to help you press down into. So you're not putting a lot of weight in this hand or arm. You're pressing down to lift up, and it's helping you to rotate the torso more towards the front of the room. The top arm reaches out and helps also to rotate the top of the body towards the back of the room. So you're not falling forward towards your front leg, but you're opening up towards the front of the room and almost towards the ceiling. And then press the feet again. Inhale, come up. Turn the feet parallel. Take a breath in Utthita hasta padasana. And we'll turn the left leg and foot out 90 degrees. Back foot in slightly. The arms stretch from the shoulders. As you press the inner and outer edges of the feet, lift the kneecaps, lift the chest. Inhale and exhale, reach out over the left leg and place your left hand down onto your block underneath your shoulder. And again, remember, you're not falling down into that block or your support, but you're pressing down into it to help maintain the lift in the chest as you reach out through the right arm up above and stretch to open the chest, the torso, more towards the front of the room. The weight is balanced evenly on the feet. The kneecaps are lifted, the legs are straight. And then press the feet, inhale to come back up. Turn the feet parallel. Watch out for the blocks behind you. And step or hop, arms and legs back to Tadasana. Feet hip distance apart. Take a breath here in Tadasana. For the next pose, we won't need our blocks, so we'll make sure that they are out of the way behind the mat. And we'll stand again in Tadasana, feet hip distance. Balance the weight evenly on the feet. Drop on the kneecaps. Press the thighs back. Lift the chest. Reach the arms. The pose we'll practice now is called Virabhadrasana II, Warrior II pose. It's named after a warrior called Virabhadra. So Virabhadrasana. So we'll inhale, we'll start the standing pose just like we did the last one. Inhale the fingertips up, step or hop, arms and legs wide apart. And for this pose, we'll start with the hands on the waist. As we turn the right leg and foot out 90 degrees, the back foot in slightly. So Parshvahasta Padasana. We'll find our weight balanced on our feet to begin with. Again, inner and outer edges of the feet, balanced evenly. Kneecaps are lifted, thigh bones press back, the chest is lifted. And we'll bend the front knee. So we'll bend the knee so that it tracks in line with that middle toe, the third toe on the right foot. And we want to take the knee to a bend so that the knee comes over the right ankle while you're maintaining the length in the right leg. The left leg. So press down through the outer edge of that back foot and press that left thigh bone back. And the knee comes over the ankle while the torso is upright. Straighten, press the foot and straighten the right leg back to Padangusthasana, because the arms aren't stretched. And we'll do that one more time, lubricating the hip a little bit. So the feet are pressed evenly, particularly the outer edge of that left foot presses firmly down into the sticky mat. The shoulders are back, the chest is lifted, and we'll inhale and exhale, and again track that knee so that the point of the knee comes directly towards the middle toe, and the knee comes in line with the right ankle. So it's a deep bend of the right knee. The thigh bone comes towards parallel with the floor, and that back left leg stretches straight. Chest is lifted. And then we'll press the foot and straighten the right knee. And then turn the feet back to parallel. Pause for a moment. Take an inhale and exhale. And then we'll turn the left leg and foot out 90 degrees. Back foot in slightly. Again, check that the heel of the front foot is in line with the arch of the back foot. Press the feet, inner and outer edges. Draw up on the kneecaps, lifting the quadriceps. Roll the shoulders back and lift the chest. And then you can look at your knee as you bend the left knee, tracking that left knee over the left big middle toe. The knee comes over the ankle. It's a deep bend of the left knee. The back foot presses firmly down into the floor, and the right back leg stays straight. The chest is upright, and the knee is over the ankle. Press the left foot and straighten the left leg. And we'll pause in Virabhadrasana. And then we'll bend the foot again. So the outer left foot presses down firmly. The right leg stays straight. And then we'll bend the left knee and take the knee over the ankle, tracking it in line with that middle toe. And the thigh comes towards parallel to the floor as the back leg stays straight and the chest is lifted. And then press the left foot and straighten the left leg. Turn the feet back to Utthita Padasana. And we'll reach the arms, Utthita Hasta Padasana, and step or hop the feet again back to Tadasana. So now that we've practiced the legs in this pose, Virabhadrasana II, we'll practice it, the classical pose, the full pose, practice with the arms maintained up by the shoulders. So we'll start again in Tadasana. Press the feet, lift the kneecaps, lift the quadriceps, the thighs, lift the chest, stretch the fingertips, stretch the arms down, and then we'll inhale, take the fingertips up, step or hop, arms and legs wide apart, and then turn the right leg and foot out 90 degrees, maintaining the arms up by the shoulders. We'll turn the back left foot out slightly. Inhale, reach the arms, and maintain the chest upright as you exhale and bend the right knee so that it tracks out over the right ankle. You can look at your feet and see that the knee is over the ankle. And then keeping the torso upright, stretch the arms from the shoulders. You'll look out over your right fingertips. Virabhadrasana II, Warrior II pose. And then pressing the feet, straighten the right leg. Turn the feet back to parallel. And then turn the left leg and foot out. Turn the back foot in. Reach the arms from the shoulders. Press the feet and lift up on the kneecaps, lift up on the thighs as you lift the chest. And then maintaining the pressure in the outer edge of the right foot. Inhale, exhale, and bend the left knee so that the knee comes out over the left ankle. The back leg is stretched straight. The torso is upright. The thigh is moving towards parallel to the floor. And the arms stretch from the shoulders as you gaze out over the left fingertips. Press the feet. Inhale, straighten the left leg. Turn the feet back to Utthita Hasta Padasana, parallel feet. And then step or hop the arms and legs back to Tadasana with the feet hip distance apart. Again, you can look at your feet, see that they're parallel with the outer edges of the mat, the outer edges of the feet parallel with the outer edges of the mat. The weight is even on the feet, side to side and front to back. The kneecaps are lifted. The quadriceps, thigh muscles are lifted. The thigh bones press back towards the backs of the thighs. The chest is lifted. The outer shoulders roll back and down, and the arms stretch down from the shoulders all the way down to the fingertips. So we'll move from here into a seated pose. So you'll need a strap and a blanket. So here's a strap, here's a blanket. But first off, we'll try sitting without the blanket and see how we do. So this pose is called Dandasana, or staff pose. And Dandasana, just like Tadasana is the foundation for the standing poses, Dandasana is the foundation for the seated poses. So all the seated poses come from this position. So we want to make sure we do it well. So we're sitting on our sit bones. The torso is upright. The arms press down by the sides of the waist. And the legs, for now, can be hip distance apart as you reach out through the feet. Now, some of us have tight hamstrings or a tight lower back, and so our lower back might round a little bit, but we want to maintain that lift in the lower back. So if this is too challenging to do without support, you can use a blanket to sit on, just like we did in sukhasana, the first seated pose that we did. So we'll sit directly on our sit bones and see if that helps us to make it a little bit easier to lift the lower back and stretch the legs. So we'll press the legs down as we reach out through the feet, and we'll still maintain that sense that there's an inner and outer edge of the foot, big toe mound, little toe mound, inner heel, outer heel, and it's as if you had a wall to place the feet against. So you want to keep the toes pointed upright, and you want to see that the inner and outer edges of the feet are equidistant away from the rest of the body. Now, some of us will still have difficulty maintaining that lift in the chest, so we'll try using a strap. So we'll place the strap around the balls of the feet, also called the soles of the feet from the Iyengars. So right around the balls of the feet, Press the balls of the feet and the big toe mound and little toe mound into the strap, as if you're pressing into a wall. Then we'll hold on to the strap, keeping the arms roughly straight, and then pull on the strap to take the shoulders back and move the back body more into the front body. So the back body moves in as you pull on the strap and stretch the legs, pressing the feet into the strap. We'll maintain that lift of the chest while we release the strap, and again, place the hands down by the sides of the waist. Keeping the kneecaps lifted, the thighs pressing down, the chest lifted. Maintain this L shape of Dandasana, and we'll practice Virabhadrasana in Dandasana. So we did that in Tadasana, the standing pose. We take our arms overhead. Same thing here. Maintain the thighs down, the chest lifted. As you reach the arms forward, palms facing one another. And then inhale, take the arms overhead by the ears. Again, same thing here. If the elbows are not able to be straight or you have some restrictions in your shoulders, you can take the arms a little bit wider to stretch the arms. Use the arms to help bring more length into the sides of the body. Don't forget about the legs. Press the thighs down. Reach out through the inner and outer edges of the feet. Take an inhale and exhale. Lower your arms down. The next pose we'll practice will be lying down. So this pose is called Urdhva Prasarita Padangusthasana. So we've already mentioned Urdhva. Urdhva is upward. So upward hands, Virabhadrasana. So Urdhva is upward. Prasarita is extended. And Padasana, you've also heard, is feet. So upward extended feet pose. We'll remove our blanket. We'll have our strap nearby, and we'll come lying down onto our back. So you want to feel like you're standing in Tadasana while you're lying down on the floor. So there's length in the back body. The outer shoulders move back and away from the ears as you stretch the arms by the sides of the waist. The abdomen draws back towards the spine. The pelvis is on the floor. And the neck is long, the head is centered on the sticky mat. And we'll draw our knees up towards our chest so that the thighs are perpendicular to the floor. The knees are bent. From here, you can already feel the abdomen toning. This is an abdominal strengthening pose. So the abdomen starts to tone here. We'll straighten our legs up to 90 degrees with the legs together, reaching through the feet, reaching the feet towards the ceiling. Urdhva Prasarita Padangusthasana. Now some of us have tight hamstrings, tight lower back, and will not be able to stretch our legs straight up to 90 degrees. So for those of us who are not able to stretch the legs straight at 90, you can stretch the legs, see if you can get to about 60 degrees or 70 degrees, stretching the legs straight. You'll feel the toning in the abdomen, and then you can bend your knees, keeping the thighs perpendicular to the floor, and then take your feet down to the sticky mat and pause for a moment. We'll practice this pose again with a little support from a strap. So this will help us with stretching the legs and taking a little bit of the work out of the abdomen and legs to do the pose. So you'll come to the same position, knees bent, thighs perpendicular to the floor, and you'll place the strap around the balls of your feet like you did in the last pose, Dandasana. The feet are together, the arms are stretched straight, and then you'll straighten your legs, letting the strap slide in between the fingers as you straighten the legs up to 90 degrees, or wherever you were with straightening the legs at 60 or 70 degrees. But this will take some of the work out of the legs and the abdomen so that you can feel the shape of the pose. Urdhva Prasarita Padasana, upward extended foot pose. Again, the feet are even, inner and outer edges of the feet pressing into your strap as if you were standing on the ceiling. Take an inhale, exhale, bend the knees, remove the strap, place the feet on the floor, and rest. We'll practice another pose on our back while we're here. It's similar to the last pose. This pose is called Supta padangusthasana, or Supta is lying down, and your padangusta is your big toe. So in the classical position of the pose, the leg is stretched up and you're holding your big toe. But to begin to learn the pose, we'll use a strap. So we'll bend our right knee, place the strap around the sole, the ball of the right foot, holding onto the strap in both hands, arms stretch up towards the foot, strap around the ball of the foot, and begin to stretch the right leg straight up towards the ceiling. Again, if you can't straighten your leg and you need a little more length on the strap, and you can take the leg to 60 or 70 degrees, but we want to straighten the back of the leg because we're stretching the hamstring, we're stretching the lower back. Once you've found that your back of your leg is straight, the arms are stretched straight, you can then take your left leg down to the floor, pressing that thigh bone down to the floor, pressing the kneecap down to the floor, and reaching out through the inner and outer edges of the feet. So again, it should be as if the right foot is pressing into the ceiling, into a imaginary wall behind the foot, and the left foot also is doing the same. It's pressing into an imaginary wall so that the toes point up and the inner and outer edges of the feet are equidistant away from the body. And then you can remove the strap on the right leg, lower the right leg down to the floor, and just pause for a moment, noticing any difference between the right and left side after stretching the right leg. Then we'll practice the pose again on the left side. So you'll draw the left knee in towards the body, place the strap over the ball of the left foot, hold the strap, either ends of the strap in each hand, and then stretch the left leg straight. Again, the two sides of the body are often different, so you may not be able to get to 90 degrees on this side, even if you did on the other side. And again, if you need more length in the strap, you can take the leg a little bit lower, but be sure to straighten the back of the leg. Once you've straightened your left leg, pressing the foot into the strap, the ball of the foot into the strap, evenly. You can then stretch the right leg down to the floor, pressing the right thigh and knee down to the floor, reaching out through the inner and outer edges of the right foot, as if there were a wall that you're pressing that right foot into. Both sides of the waist are even. The abdomen is toned. The arms stretch, the shoulders move down to the floor, the neck and throat and jaw are relaxed. And then you can release the strap on the left leg and stretch the left leg down. And again, pause for a moment, just noticing the difference in the two sides of the body. We'll bend our knees and roll over onto our right side, and then carefully press ourselves up for the final pose, Shavasana, corpse pose. So to practice this pose, we'll take a blanket and we'll open it up lengthwise, covering our sticky mat. This will allow the body to relax into the pose, and it won't get stuck on the sticky mat. So stretch the blanket out as best as you can. This one's a little wrinkly. And then have a blanket for your head and neck. Then you'll sit down in the center of your sticky mat. Feet together, knees together, and lie down so that you stay in a straight line in the pose. And come down onto your back. You may or may not need a blanket underneath your head. I'm going to scoot down a little bit so that my head is on the blanket, on the sticky mat. You want to remain in a straight line so you can lift your head up and look down the line of the body and stretch the legs out. And then place the head back down onto the sticky mat. The blanket. Now, if your chin is reaching up towards the ceiling and the back of the neck is shortened, you will need support under your head. So take a rounded edge of a blanket and place that blanket underneath your head and neck. You'll externally rotate your arms so that your palms are up and a couple inches away from the body. Make sure there's no props or straps in the way. Release the outer shoulders down. The shoulder blades move down the back. The pelvis is resting on the floor. You're centered on your blanket and sticky mat. Then you can relax your legs apart. Gently close your eyes in this position. And we'll begin to just relax each part of the body. So we'll start with the feet, the calves and shins, the knees, the thighs, the fronts of the thighs and the backs of the thighs, the pelvis, the buttocks, the abdomen. We'll move up towards the torso, the chest, the front and back of the torso, the sides of the torso, the shoulders, the upper arms, the lower arms, the hands. Relax the neck, the jaw, the throat, the tongue, the cheekbones, the cheeks, the temples. The eyes are gently closed, and allow the eyes to recede back towards the back of the brain, quieting the eyes. Relax the forehead and the crown of the head. Release the breath and enjoy a few moments of silence. So you can stay in this pose for as long as you have time for. It's great relaxation, quieting the mind. But when you're ready to come out, you can carefully place your hands on your abdomen. And then bend one knee at a time, placing the soles of the feet on the floor and pausing there. And then carefully roll over onto your right side, pausing there again. Not moving quickly. And then when you're ready, you can press yourself up to a comfortable seated position. And just take a moment noticing any changes in your physical body from the beginning of the class. And we'll take our hands in prayer in front of our hearts, so pressing the palms into one another. Keeping the chest lifted, but bowing your head down towards your hands. Acknowledging the light that exists within each one of us. Namaste. Thank you all for joining this class today. I hope you'll enjoy continuing to learn the basics of the Iyengar yoga method as we move forward through this series. See you next time.